I don't know, you score a couple of important goals and suddenly you're demanding 150 grand a week. Hello everyone and welcome back to more Chelsea Challenge here with me, Mr. Grand 2, and another big day, another game in the Champions League, another Champions League semi-final, and once again, it is PSG. As you can see then, since last time, we've got ourselves 4 points, not perhaps the way round I was anticipating. We played Leeds United first of all, and it was a 0-0. Rather surprising given the fact that they were bottom of the league. It was largely due to a goalkeeping performance from one Will Huffer, who is apparently a real person, wanted by Wigan, valued at £62,000, playing just his third Premier League game for Leeds. Previously has spent time on loan at Barnet and Crewe. Well, I guess whatever he was doing, he maybe huffing the spirit of Gordon Banks or Lev Yashin, because it was an inspired performance. He got himself a 7.8 rating and player of the match, making 10 saves and denying us 3 points. That was then followed by a far more impressive performance. Manchester City came round and we absolutely battered them. Federico Chiesa grabbing the first one in what was a vintage display from our Italian players. Zaniolo getting the second, and then before half time it was 3-0. Fikayo Tomori heading home. So the game was effectively done. Jorginho sealed it with a penalty in the second half. Absolutely brilliant and a fantastic win once again against Manchester City. One of the only top 6 teams really we have any sort of good record against. So that then leaves the Premier League table looking like this. We've only played 33 games. We have got 2 games in hand on Arsenal, 1 on Liverpool. I don't think it's going to make much of a difference as far as the Liverpudlians are concerned. 75 points we've got, 4 behind Arsenal, 10 behind Liverpool. I think that's done. You can see the difference really. It's not that we've really lost many games. Four defeats is actually fewer than Arsenal, who've lost 8 games, and indeed Liverpool, who've lost 5. The issue here is the draws again. Drawing with Spurs, Man United and Man City is fine. Drawing with West Ham, Wolves and Leeds, not quite as good. That's where we've lost out. But we have got those 2 games in hand today. I'm not sure actually both of them are counting as the games in hand. Probably just one of them. But anyway, 2 more Premier League games will be played in between the PSG legs. We're going to play both of them, and then we'll bring you the goals of the Premier League matches and anything interesting that happens, if indeed anything happens at all. But once again, PSG are breaching their restraining order, and we're going to have to face off against them at the Parc des Princes in the first leg. Obviously a team who we've had some run-ins with in the Champions League from each of the last 2 seasons. Both of the last 2 seasons ended with us scraping through on away goals. We have been generally effective in Europe when using this system, but it didn't work against Arsenal. Whether it's just our domestic opponents that it won't work against, I don't know. I think we're going to go with this. I mean, we're in form with this if you ignore the Leeds game and the Wolves game. And if we're being attacked mercilessly in the first few minutes, then we could always make the switch. But we're gonna stick with it. Let's just go for it. So the team then is going to be Kepa in goal. Aaron Martin securing the left back spot from Emerson, Martinez, Tomori and James completing the back 4. Jorginho, Kante and Zaniolo, of course, is going to be the midfield. Chiesa on the right hand side. He's fit. He's actually scoring goals. It's good to see. Mason Mount's going to come back in on the left hand side. I did try playing our actual left wingers. It was a disaster, really. Asensio, I did try playing our actual left wingers against Leeds. Didn't work out. Asensio is going to sit out of the squad today, and I think that his future at Chelsea is seriously in doubt, although that remains to be seen. Hudson-Odoi hasn't been particularly good either, but he has the advantage of being a club-trained player, whereas Asensio is on a lot of money and doesn't really do much for it. And then Erling Haaland, who's now also on a lot of money, but he is sort of, somewhat justifying that. 4 goals in the league this season is not many, but overall he has got 17 in all competitions, which isn't too bad, although that's been another one of our issues, hasn't it? Not having a consistent goal-scoring threat this season. And when you compare to last season, where Tammy Abraham got 27 goals in the league and 40 in all competitions, it's not been great, really. Right, can we get to 3 Champions League finals in a row? Can we beat PSG 3 seasons in a row, or are they going to get the upper hand on us this time? They've got Declan Rice in defensive midfield for them, valued at just the £73 million. Okay, that's interesting. We know about everybody else. We know how dangerous they are. Cesar Azpilicueta, our former captain, of course, 32 years old now. We sold him last summer. because he was sort of not really playing very well. Probably going to have the game of his life against us here. I expect nothing but a win from this. That's probably asking too much, really, especially when we're going for this system. This is probably quite suicidal, but I don't know. We're taking a risk. We're taking a gamble. Well, I tell you what, I mean, it might have been a gamble, but it's also been very sleep-inducing. This is the first highlight, 34 minutes in. It's us coming forwards. How is this going to end? Probably with a PSG goal, because I've played this game before. You've played this game before. You know how it ends. Goes all the way back to Kepa. Jorginho, can he play some sort of pass? It comes to Federico Chiesa, pings it across to Kante, and we're being pressed quite a lot by PSG here. Where is this going to go? Erling Haaland manages to get a shot away, which Navas is able to save. Mason Mount with the corner in. Haaland, another good chance for him. You think we're paying him 150 grand a week now. If I was being paid 150 grand a week, I think I'd send a lot more emails. I'd put a lot more letters into envelopes more quickly if that's how much money I was getting. Even just £150,000 for 3 years, that would be nice. And we're going to have to say we're happy with it because we've seen 2 highlights and they've both been for us, and we haven't conceded. Neymar's been substituted at half time and an entire football club has come on. Anyway, there's another highlight finally, a free kick from Reece James, and Wambanat is now running the entire length of the pitch, and that would have been absolutely ridiculous if that had gone in. Luckily he's a left back rather than Kylian Mbappe. Another free kick. This time we actually get a shot off rather than letting one of the opposition players just run the whole pitch again. Well, Neymar's gone off and Mbappe is lacking fitness. We're obviously kicking them a lot, which is generally, it's not anything I've asked them to do. It's not in the team instructions. I specifically do not have get stuck in on, but it seems to be, we seem to be getting stuck in anyway. We've got a lot of games coming up, so we're going to probably have to rotate a bit in some of these league matches coming up, but this is just heading for a 0-0, which is not too bad away from home, or well, even better away from home. Reece James finally gets a free kick off, and this time Lisandro Martinez is the beneficiary. Deep free kick from Reece James, and Martinez just fully pings up. He's got springs in his boots apparently, which he activated in the air. Just fully just flips up like some sort of I don't know, like a rocket or something. Very weird. Anyway, this has been a thoroughly enjoyable experience. Not the most interesting experience, but then I'm not the most interesting person. We've won 1-0. We got the away goal in Paris, which is the all-important away goal. Lisandro Martinez, the unlikely hero, but we've done it. We've beaten PSG 1-0. Full advantage to us when we go back to Stamford Bridge. And in the other semi-final, Manchester City beating AC Milan 2-0 in their first leg. I probably prefer to play AC Milan out of the two of them, but we did beat City 4-0 the other week, so maybe they'd be good opponents. Oh, this is absolutely brilliant scheduling, isn't it? We've got Bournemouth on Saturday, Everton on Monday, and then PSG on Wednesday, and then we've got to play Burnley on the Saturday after that. And then, wow, I mean, that's thrilling, isn't it? It really, really is. We can't really afford to sort of drop off our performances in the league because, I mean, we're not going to catch Liverpool, but we do still theoretically have a chance. I mean, everyone's fitness is pretty good for this one against Bournemouth. I think I'm going to stick with the same team, and we can always switch things up against Everton. All right, well, we're playing Bournemouth, and we're 1-0 down already. Martinez, the hero last time out, gave the ball away cheaply. And then it's come down to Lewis Cook, who has, well, got himself incredibly lucky, cracks it off the bar, and it lands on Kepa. Kepa's apparently being blamed for that, which I think is a little bit harsh. Well, we've not scored, but we just had one of the misses of the season so far, of all time, really. Martin plays the ball across to Chiesa, who, yeah, somehow fails to score. And we got a penalty, and, well, you know what's going to happen. We missed the penalty. Jorginho fails to score. So we've had an own goal, we've had a missed penalty, and we've had an absurd highlight that made no sense. We do finally get a slice of luck, though. Free kick in again from Reece James, such a deadly weapon. And Nicolo Zaniolo is there for an equaliser. And now we have the lead. What a run from Federico Chiesa. He actually functions as a winger should. He runs the entire length of the pitch pretty much. He looks up, he crosses, and Zaniolo, his Italian countryman, is there to make it 2-1. He didn't shoot. He didn't cross to no one. He looked up and crossed to a teammate. I can't believe it. I actually can't believe it. I mean, he's the new Frank Lampard, the Italian Frank Lampard, hat trick for Nicolo Zaniolo, smashing that one home, past Von Bolmos, and we've turned it on its head before half time. It's like we've come alive at the end of the season, and Mason Mount plays the ball across, it's headed down, and it's a thunderbolt from Reece James. Absolutely fantastic. Just why couldn't we have done this during the sort of middle part of the season when we were really bad? I just think fully live comming is quite overrated. 4-1, great performance in the end. Not a great start, but great performance after that. Kepa redeeming himself. And that leaves us on 78 points, just 4 behind Arsenal, who have played 2 games more. I think the title's gone, but we can still definitely get second place. I mean, we sold him 3 years ago, but the boy's still paying out. Right then, Everton, we're in good form. It's a risk to play the same team again, given that we've got to play PSG, but I mean, we're in form. I don't want to change a form team. Well, we've just had a shot cleared off the goal line, and another penalty, and this time Jorginho is able to dispatch it, and we've got the lead. And now it's 2-0. The man with a new contract pops up with a lovely deft header into the goal. Everton all at sea at the back. I mean, I knew it was going too well. It's always going too well. Moise Kean with his 18th of the season. Not really anything we can do about that. I mean, we could try defending or saving, but that's obviously beyond us. I mean, we are quite good at scoring again, apparently. Mason Mount with the free kick in. Federico Chiesa, a man of the moment. And there we go. It ends 3-1. I tell you what, we played some absolutely scintillating football there. One of the best performances we've had in a very, very long time. Federico Chiesa was one of our big signings last summer. He didn't really do much for most of the first half of the season. Been quite injured. He's finally learned English. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's what's helped him to adjust. But he's finally starting to justify the price tag and reputation he came with. So 2 wins from our 2 games in hand. We have qualified for the Champions League. 81 points. 1 point behind Arsenal with a game in hand over them as well. Again, I think the league is done. Liverpool are 7 points clear. Unless they have a massive collapse, we are not going to be catching them. But second place would be very good. And we'll have 122 million to spend next summer. Not as much as last year, but I don't think we don't need to make as many improvements. Few improvements, big improvements, but not as many as before. Well, AC Milan win their second leg, but it's not enough, and Manchester City have made it into the Champions League final. But who will join them, PSG or the team who are in, frankly, disturbingly good form? It's us. Gonna go with the same team as we have for the last 3 matches, because why not? Everyone is still pretty fit. Everyone is above a 7 rating for the first time in a long time. Let's enjoy it while it lasts. Right then, 1-0 lead from the first leg. Mbappe is not actually injured anymore, neither is Neymar, so yeah, that's fun. But we have the advantage, it's an away goal. Let's see what we can do here in the second leg. Can we reach the Champions League final for 3 straight years? Goodness me, that'll be an achievement, although it's going to be difficult with passes like that. Haaland just fully gives it away to Verratti, and we get away very, very, very luckily. But PSG coming forwards again. We're using the same system. It's worked really well so far since we made the switch. Mbappe in, 2 chances, and both times Kepa is able to stop him. And now we are coming forwards. Aaron Martin flings a cross in straight into the arms of Keylor Navas, though. And it's a chance instead for PSG. Mbappe gives it away to Haaland, though. It's come back to Mount and Haaland. Lovely chance there. Really well worked, but again, Navas makes the save. Well, PSG coming forwards again. Surely it's only a matter of time before they get themselves a goal, especially when we do stuff like that. Zaniolo, He's been so good this episode. He's flattened Verratti and Icardi to give PSG the away goal. No, 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 no. Kepa makes the save. We keep it at 1-0. I mean, the highlight's still not over, and I wish it was over. Wish it was over. Kylian Mbappe has run forwards, and Mauro Icardi. I mean, what was that by Zaniolo? What's he doing? What's he doing? He's like, it's like he's sneaking around to try and steal some cookies or something. You're meant to be marking, and PSG are now back on level terms. And as things stand, we're heading for my favourite thing of all time. It is Zaniolo, isn't it? He's number 19. No, he's 18. Who's 19? Or it's Mason Mount. It's Mason Mount. He's 19. I mean, what was he doing? I mean, it's been a lovely episode. I've had an absolutely wonderful time. Some great wins, and now, I mean, things are going a bit south. Right, focus. Mount's coming off because of his sort of relaxed approach to the match, shall we say? Okay, I mean, there's still time. There's still time to win it. We are still in it. We are still in it. It's just gonna go to extra time. Neymar running through. Kepa though is able to stop him. I think it's maybe the match load is too much. They've played too many games this week. They're all a bit tired now. Probably should have rested them against Everton, but I saw a chance. I saw a chance, and everyone looked like they were fine. Aouar over the top looking for Neymar. Reece James cleans up. Can we drive forwards from this? James looking the most sort of lively of people. He's on a yellow card. He's probably going to get sent off at the end of this highlight. James back to Jorginho. Lovely ball over the top. Haaland's going to miss it. He doesn't miss it, but I think he's offside because we can't have nice things. Yes, he is. He's fractionally offside. Let's see how ridiculous this is. What is that? I mean, what do you even say about that? What do you even say about... There was no yellow there at all. Because he wasn't offside, was he? He wasn't offside. Kepa playing the ball. What do you even say about that? We're going to go again, though. Haaland's in again. And this time, when he is onside, according to the game's rules, he misses. And another one. Declan Rice has made a mistake, though. Hudson-Odoi to Zaniolo. He's going the long way round. Cuts it back to Aaron Martin. Not enough power in the shot and no attempt to cross it. But what was that? Yes. Finally, some sort of luck after that. What was that? Navas has just chucked it out. Or did he actually kick it? He's kicked it. He's drop kicked it straight to Kante, who can't believe his luck, and fires into an empty goal. Oh, okay. I hate this game sometimes, but I love this game sometimes. It's 1-1, 2-1 on aggregate. We need to keep it up to see this out. If PSG score, then there won't be extra time, which at least is something, but they will be going through. Here we go. Here we go. Kepa keeps it out for now. Oh my goodness me, we've got substitutions to make. I'm not going to make them because it will just drag out the injury time, and I don't like extra time, but I don't like injury time either. Are we going to do it? 1 minute to survive, 10 seconds, no seconds. We've done it again. We've done it again. 1-1. At least we actually went through not just by away goals this year, but we've beaten PSG and we're into the final of the Champions League again. Kepa with a fantastic performance. He's been taking lessons from that young Leeds goalkeeper whose name I've already forgotten. Will Huffer, that's his name. Great performance from Reece James. And N'Golo Kante, the hero of the hour, with a sort of incredibly reactive fluke strike. What on earth happened in that game? Oh dear, we've qualified for the Club World Cup as well. I mean, we're not going to go. Just say we're busy. We're washing our hair that day. We can't go. We've suffered the ignominy of being knocked out of the FA Cup by Wolves. Wolves. I mean, they're 11th in the Premier League. That's hardly a disaster. Anyway, we've done what we needed to do. It's going to be Manchester City in the Champions League final once again. Can we do 2 out of 3, or are we going to just have to settle for 1 out of 3? Anyway, worry about that one. Worry about that one next time. because we've got 3 Premier League games left. I'm going to play Burnley, I'm going to play Southampton. We don't need to play them in an episode because we have already qualified for the Champions League, of course, and realistically, barring a massive collapse from Liverpool, that's the title's not going to happen. They could collapse. I don't know why I'm looking at their squad. They could collapse, but they've got to play Norwich, which you think they'd win that one. They've got to play Everton, which is tricky, and then they've got to play Man United on the final day of the season. So some potential for drop points there from Liverpool, but realistically, I think it is over. But there is still a good chance we can get second place, which would be an improvement, and that's what we're going to come back for. We will play Arsenal, our final Premier League game, and we will play Manchester City in the Champions League final. It's going to be a bumpy ride, whatever happens. Hopefully, we manage to beat Burnley and Southampton in the meantime, and nobody gets injured. That would be good. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed that frankly ridiculous series of matches. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you do not miss those final 2 games of the season, and I will see you next time.